How deep do your prospective clients have to go to find you on the web? When they do find you, what do they find?
SEO,
internet marketing strategy,
bounce rates,
website performance,
cost per click,
and social media.
Conversion rates.
This is Edge of the Web with Aaron Sparks.
Good morning. Welcome to Edge of the Web Radio. Whether you're at the edge of the internet marketing pool or you're constantly looking for that next edge to improve your website and conversions, we're your stop here to give you some education and improve those leads coming into your website. Hi, I'm Aaron Sparks with Site Strategics. We're here with John Thompson.
Hey.
Thank you for coming to listening to Edge of the Web Radio. We are a local Indianapolis company that focuses on internet marketing, making strategic and successful websites, and we focus on site development. But on top of that, we bring that thirsty horse to your website and also get them to drink. What do you think about that, John?
I think we're feeding horses.
Well, we had a break last week, and I took the family down to the horses, to the horse ranch. So horses are on my mind this week.
Cool.
I want to tell you a little bit about our program, and thank you for tuning in 8 a.m. in the morning on Saturdays. We realize that a lot of people are sleeping in. That's why we podcast this on a regular basis.
That's right.
You can find that podcast at edgeofthewebradio.com. You can also go to iTunes and just search for Edge of the Web Radio, or my name, Aaron Sparks, E-R-I-N Sparks, and you can find all of our shows on podcast. We're also running YouTube videos on all of these radio stations and all these shows, and we're also breaking these segments down and giving some additional illustrative screenshots and information that's tied into what we're talking about. So it actually gives you a lot more information regarding these different topics. Regarding these topics, what do we talk about on these shows, John?
Well, we started the metaphor with an engine here, and we're hitting 8 cylinders.
That's right.
We're talking about social media, PPC, website, conversion, click-throughs, email marketing, content marketing, and we're hitting on all these 8 cylinders that we've made of our marketing engine and teaching people how to do it themselves.
That's right. And sometimes things can get a little bit confusing, so we don't want to put too much information out at any one point in time. So we break up these shows to hit on a couple cylinders of this engine at any one time. We also break it up into a every other week show, so it gives you time to actually implement these instructions or these tasks that we give you and be able to show some results for these actions. This show is not riddled with geek speak. We focus on questions that every business owner actually asks. Where do you start? How do you compete in social media? How does Google even rank my websites? And how do I get to know my customers? And more importantly than anything else, how does this affect my bottom line? And we actually give you some tools and techniques and measurements to be able to track these different efforts on a regular basis. Tell me, John, what do we have in store for us? What did we do last week to summarize everything?
Well, we mainly hit on PPC, talked about social media. Our PPC, we covered Google Analytics primarily, and talked about how to effectively start a campaign.
Right.
And we used a business example of a catering business and showed you some steps. We're going to touch some more on that today. Also about conversion click-throughs, and having that landing page is what we talked about the last show. We're going to cover a little bit more of that today, and also analytics again.
Yeah, we realize that we sometimes throw a lot out there on these shows, and we wanted to take this show to really back up a little bit. Talk about, we gave you the basics last week, and if you want to catch up on that show, you certainly can. But what we're doing is expanding this into some improvements, how to make a success out of your PPC campaign, because you can really lose money if you don't do it right, and we want to give you strategies to be able to improve them.
Absolutely.
Regarding that, how do they get in touch with us between shows? If you're interested in anything we have to say, we are always happy to talk about that. We'll even sit down with you and have a free hour consultation on what your strategy should be regarding your different businesses. How do they get a hold of us?
Yeah, this show is actually brought to you by Site Strategics. You can find us at sitestrategics.com, or you can call us at 1-317-882-8500 or 1-888 SEO for Web, I believe.
No, it's actually 877 SEO, the number 4 web, or translate that into true numbers. It's 877-736-4932. You can find us at sitestrategics.com. There's also a local number, 317-882-8500 for Indianapolis. If you wanted to call in on our show today, you can actually reach us at 866-440-1430. We're actually having the phones live today, so if you have questions about what we're talking about regarding PPC and landing page development, give us a shout. We're always happy to talk about it. All right, so let's get into our program here. We're talking about we wanted to start the program today with a little bit of a change, because a lot of times we put some news of internet marketing and different points that we come across between shows at the end of the show, and a lot of times that news is kind of like the redheaded stepchild. It doesn't get the love that it really needs. So what we want to do is bring news up front and talk to you a little bit about internet marketing news that we came across that was very interesting. John, what's the first article that we wanted to talk about?
First article is the poll results. Social required to compete in search. This is by the Search Engine Roundtable.
Right.
They did a little poll and found that social, by majority of people, say that you need social to compete. 59% said yes, you do need social to compete in search. And we're talking about organic search. I mean, it's not, you have to have this as a factor in your search results now.
And that's an ongoing thing as well, is that the search engines mature. They change their algorithm, how they actually measure sites, and how they look at and how they can present one site above another.
Which is always fun for us because we're trying to keep up with it.
Exactly. It's like whack-a-mole. It really is. It could be how many green dots are on your website, Google counts.
Absolutely.
But the fact of the matter is that social has become such a necessity to be able to show the value that people ascribe your site. And it used to be that the strong core component was inbound links coming from other websites into your own websites, like a vote of authority.
And it still is.
Absolutely. Right? But now they've compounded that with social media, how often you're engaging with your customers, how large your canvas of social connectivity is. That's a big factor now. And we've seen it time and time again whenever we've got a site that may be dropping in ranks, bumping up and actually setting up their Google Plus account. That's basically the Facebook page, but Google has the equivalent of that. So they're trying to promote their own services, and all of a sudden, guess what? Those ranks snap right back into place. So we know there's a major factor, even if there wasn't even an activity on that. Just having that Google Plus page is demonstrating some results.
Yeah, they say they don't give it favor, but some of us in the industry think that they do. Second article here is Pinterest.
Oh, please, just go away.
It's now the third most popular social network site.
It's amazing. If you're not familiar with Pinterest, it is a visual social media website where people pin their photos of some interest they have, and they can get repinned by different accounts on Pinterest. Well, it is now becoming the third largest social network. They attracted 21 million visits in the week ending January 28th, 2012. It's nearly 30 times the number of total visits 6 months before, giving it a larger audience than as reported to other firms. Literally, the demographics are female. 60% of the site's users are female, and 55% of the users are between the ages of 25 and 45. That's an incredible demographic for selling products online, getting people to promote your visual, promote your images, and that kind of ties into what we've been seeing and what we've noted, a shift in search, there is now kind of a revolution or an evolution of search into a visual search environment where people are actually paying attention to the images on your site, even much more than even the content on your website. They're looking at what do they see, and thusly we have to respond with sites that we own by giving more and more eye candy, more and more things that people can actually pin up.
Yep.
And use on their Pinterest account.
You're absolutely right. And we've seen that with Facebook's timeline.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that with the Pinterest. We've actually revamped a lot of other older websites that we've done
That's right.
to more photocentric, and we're going to talk about one of those towards the end of the
That's
show.
right. That's right.
So yeah, it's going, and I'm sure we'll go into a revolution from photos to videos later on. But
And it really ties into, the broadband revolution. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know what the specs are, but there's a huge, predominant amount of internet traffic that has broadband access. So the image loading is not an issue anymore. But it also goes to how society at large is processing information in their news. They are looking at images before anything else. It's very instant gratification type of pursuits here, and users are spending less and less time on average on websites.
Yep.
So keep them there and interacting with your website. You have to have good images that can also be pinned. Remember that. Not enough just to have those images, but you need to have some tools that you can provide users to be able to share that with their own social network. Mm-hmm. Cool.
all right, another news article: Facebook offers rollout begins, and if you're not plugged into a Groupon or Living Social, you should. That's becoming more and more prevalent, these deals that are coming out, and now Google and Facebook are getting in the game, and Facebook is starting this out with offers.
Right.
They had deals, but they're doing it. That went away. Now they're doing Facebook offers, which are primarily focused on people that have liked the Facebook page of that company.
That's right.
And now you can target them and give them discounts and coupons. And it's only open to a select number right now, but they do plan on rolling it out for everybody.
And that really connects the dots for a lot of companies that have been on the fence, or on the edge for that matter, of getting into Facebook marketing. They're asking the question, why should I have a fan page? I mean, what's the ROI there? Is it just
Right.
branding? And how do I quantify that branding exercise? Well, the fact of the matter now is, now Facebook had some earlier kind of couponing efforts. And I think they're rolling out this as a better product to deliver to users. Where, I mean, if you've got a local website that has a Facebook fan page and you've got 300, 400 local likes, you can actually deliver a coupon, an offer. If they're a restaurant, a free appetizer,
Right.
all those are immediately being able to be used at the local level. That means feet in your restaurant. That means commerce and coin coming into your pocket. So,
That's right.
I mean, the reality of this is touching on full bore here.
Yeah, and in closing here on the articles, good point though. WordPress completely dominates top 100 blogs with 49% relative majority. This is an article. that hits
Back up.
Yeah.
What is WordPress?
Right. WordPress is a content management system. It's actually an open source blog that's known worldwide and free. You can actually, it starts out free, but there's all kinds of tools that you can post onto this that actually enhance it to even an enterprise level. Some of the most popular blogs cited in this were, let's see here, CNN, New York Times, Gawker. Some of these are more insiders, but there's a lot of corporate enterprise level
Website.
expansion of this free tool, and we use it at Site Strategics, and we heavily promote it. It's the fact that you can actually enable your clients to log in through the back end, and if they know Word, they can change or add content. There's no more calling that person up, calling your IT guy up and saying, hey, can you do this for me? And then taking a week. You can get in there and do it yourself.
It takes that content management out of the hands of your coder or your developer. Gives you the keys to the car. But what's really cool about WordPress is that these things are streamlined to be able to be attractive to search engines. You have the ability to globally change pages from start to finish, every one of your pages, peppering in different phrases that you're trying to be optimized for, and you can test them out from a site-wide standpoint as opposed to individual pages that you'd have to have your coder changed and developed. So it's like a speedboat as opposed to a barge when it comes down to making changes and seeing effective results on Google.
Absolutely.
You also have the ability of putting it's a framework so you can put different designs, different styles of your website. So no longer do you have to go through a huge amount of development time for a custom design anyway. So it's very efficiency centric, it's very design centric, and honestly, if you don't have a content management system in your website, you're really behind the times. You need to have that, and we do that on a regular basis. We'll inherit websites and we'll change those and modify those and plug in a content management system and even keeping the same aesthetic. I tell you what, we are going to be coming back very soon with our segment 2, focusing on clicks and conversion. Learn more about PPC and how to make a success. You're listening to WXNT News Talk 1430 WXNT.